just started skiing backcountry, and it was like, I don't need all this quantity. One run can make my whole day. And I think there's something to be said for that. And I think you can relate that to the lifestyle we live in our culture, because everyone's kind of searching for quantity, and the quality's really absent from the picture. So backcountry can teach us something about what's really important in life.
Every time we go out in the mountains, you know, everything else just sort of falls by the wayside, and we're out there skiing, you know, climbing, hiking, doing our thing. And the only thing that we are is a part of nature at that point. And our entire world is being a part of that natural environment. And you really just sort of, you get in touch with everything out there. The mountains go on forever. You know, 1,000 miles of mountains heading north from where we live in Pemberton with absolutely nothing in the way. Accessing this kind of terrain on the snowmobile is really difficult. You got tons of factors. Just getting there can be an absolute nightmare. Well, we deal with a lot of crevasses and slide runouts while we're traveling on our snowmobiles. The slide dangers, the runouts, they're usually pretty obvious, easy to pick out, and we can just work one at a time through them and be safe. The crevasse danger, we spend a lot of time up on the glaciers, and we always carry our, you know, ropes, all our rescue gear. So at any time if somebody does go in a crevasse, we can rescue them.
Half the fun to me is looking for things and finding new features and new mountains and new lines and figuring out how to get there and how to get to the top and how to get down in one piece.
I had a big slide up there in Pemberton this last spring. We had a definite unstable snowpack for a couple weeks. It was a little rare. And this slide was particularly dangerous because it came from above. It was set off by two friends who were up on the ridge, and they were well back from the edge, over 100 feet from the edge, but they were still somehow able to trigger a very, very large cornice. But luckily, because I was up on the edge, up on the spine, the avalanche wasn't coming anywhere near me, and I was in a good position to just watch it roll on down the gully and head out so far across the glacier. I think most of us feel a lot of concern about the environment that we're in, and it's kind of a catch-22 because on the one hand, we absolutely love what we do. We love our snowmobiles. We love being able to go out and access these mountains. But on the other hand, we know that there's some serious repercussions to what we're doing out there. And we want to be able to do this for the rest of our lives, and we want our children to be able to do this. So I think there's kind of got to be a sort of middle ground in what we do out there and how we balance our actions. What I'm really hoping is that the technologies that come about in the next several years are going to enable us to go out and ski these kind of places without having the impacts on the environment that we have right now.
Cadillac dreams to the rhythm. Pace yourself in the race. What are your highest intentions? You know time's a trife, always testing. Don't regress. Let the restlessness manifest in the form of poetic progressions. Optimism, aggressive, compensate opposite. Negative intervention, drug rehabilitation. Harsh human condition, adolescence in prison. Youth gone wrong, tears falling out your eyes like the rain falling out the sky. Cause you love them to miss them. Reality couldn't be more convincing. Emotion leaving mom short on breath, trembling and shaking. Life, the amusement park for temptation, steady demonstrated. All considered, you need all your concentration. No outside manipulations, many relationships cause distractions. Catalyst for closed caption, damn, still can't read it or see it. Writing on the wall, had to go through it to believe it. You should wipe that face of shame away. Place no blame on anyone today. Play the game your own way. Pay your dues through your ups and downs, now that's okay. Big things, big dreams are being formulated. Stand up, high pressure, my man, you can take it. Cadillac dreams, it's all real, you can make it.
Cadillac dreams are all that ever seems to be in this life. This life. If I could wake up, I would get it right this time.
Started out with a big cross cut of the entire slope. Skied the first line great, hiked back up. Second time, it was noticeably warmer. Definitely hiking in a t-shirt, and towards the top of where we were gonna ski, you know, heard probably one of the biggest red flags in the backcountry is just the whole snowpack around us settling out, and just kept on going, you know, had the mindset that we wanted to ski this line one more time. About 4 or 5 turns into it, just let go above me, and the whole thing started moving. Wrestled my skis around and headed for that tree and hit it at about 50 miles an hour, it felt like, and there were some red flags that we had that we didn't heed, and I paid the price for it. Luckily, not with an injury or anything.
Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for western and central North Dakota. An Arctic blast of cold air will push into the northern plains tonight, bringing much colder and below normal temperatures to the forecast area. Falling temperatures and windy conditions will continue through much of Thursday, along with wind chills of 25 to near 40 below zero by Thursday evening. Very cold temperatures will persist through the weekend.
The expedition was called to cross the moon, but these extreme athletes attempted to cross the state using the North Dakota wind as their fuel. Sam Salway and Jason Magnus are two men from Grand Forks who began a nearly 2-week journey to cross the state using snow kites. Salway and Magnus were followed by a team that stopped in many communities to offer free snow kiting lessons. They were able to teach a couple hundred kids the basics of snow kiting and reach over 1,000 people with the message of wind energy potential.
The hazards that we've encountered have been a lot, I guess, more difficult than I imagined. Instead of the lake being smooth like it is out here, in sections where there's current during the summer, it freezes in incredibly strange patterns, like just jagged daggers of ice everywhere and big blocks of, ice. That it's more like trying to kite across some places just strewn with concrete rubble. There we were trying to bring our kites down in 60-mile-an-hour winds, and it was quite terrifying because the kites come down and then they're on the ground and they're dragging you across the ice. Sam got his kite somehow under control, and then he ran over to me, and we're both holding onto my kite as it's dragging me and lifting me in the air. And I've had an ice screw in, so the ice screw's in the ice, and we just couldn't get that kite clipped off to the ice screw. And every time we were this far away, we'd get jerked up in the air, and then we're trying to drag the kite back across the ice and clip it in. It was, a 10 or 15 minute ordeal. And we've really been lucky to find some fantastic companies that put a lot back into it and are working just like we are to really educate and to create the atmosphere, I guess, among athletes and outdoor enthusiasts that we really have to take a stand and start changing the way we think and protect what we have, so that we're not the last generation doing expeditions like this, that people don't have to really come face to face with climate change, because it is possible to start to turn it around.
When you get into that moment, when you're just flowing and breathing, going up the mountain, no chairlift, no heli ride, nothing can beat that. And so as much as you got to suffer through that, you really just got to embrace it and get the positive experience out of that.
You wanna live your best quick, find a way to get along with no more complication. Send it on, do it that way, won't be blown away. We on a quest to communicate. Living is a living, it's an everyday now.
The pressure building, tumbling buildings, grumbling humans on disastrous mood swings. After a few kings dictating, folk get fed up, and folk won't let up. I'm hoping for a few things to make folk get up. Rock incinerated and crops obliterated, and lots of humans indicated with bombs and demonstrations. Songs and revelations, but wrongs are ever greater. My crew, the resonators, we've got to elevate it. What? The state of awareness in the face of some careless motherfuckers with parents that were sus on. Anyway, it's a front on, attack on the love song. I rap on the console to console frustrations. We on a quest to communicate across all nations. I drop all the imitations to reach the bullet's destination and land it. And power to the people I'd like to call speech bandits.
You wanna live your best quick, find a way To get along with me, no more complication. Send it on, do it that way, won't be blown away. We on a quest to communicate. Heavy as a living, gets to every day. Now watch as the rebel pebble shifts a bit. What started out small, now triplicate. We got bigger with the trigger, most unlimited. To bolt with the revolt, unpredicted.
I think backcountry skiing is very empowering. You get out there, you're on your own, you're with Mother Nature, but you're making your own decisions. And more women are realizing that and experiencing that and saying, hey, you know, I can do this, I can be self-sufficient. And so more and more women are coming out into the backcountry, and it's inspiring, and I think it, you know, it's like its own catalyst. It's really cool.
I think that's kind of the beauty of skiing, is that there doesn't have to really be any gender definition. Like, it doesn't have to be a girl's line or a guy's line anymore.
Go hiking for a day. Like, you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. So I think for all the women, it's just fuel your own fire and get your friends out there.
I think it's the quest to ride new lines that are bigger, more extreme, harder to access. Just keeps you coming back, wanting to go the extra distance to get the next big line.
it's been really rewarding because, you know, I mean, it's kind of pointless with the split board to turn it into snowboard mode for every hill. So you really got to learn how to ski. And I think that's one of the best things about splitboarding for me is that it's brought me back in touch with skiing itself and got me to respect skiing. But the climax with splitboarding is just getting to the top of something and peeling those skins, linking those two boards together, dropping in and sending that 300-foot surf turn, just blowing your tail out. You just got to roll up there at midnight or so, grovel 4.5 miles, 4,000 plus vert, mostly through talus fields. It's a slog. Basically, you're front pointing on these little nubs of granite, just kind of balancing on those front points. And then you're dry tooling on little nubs with your axes. That 2,000 feet of air below is pretty nerve-wracking. Every turn, it seems like that 2,000-foot cliff is just sucking you in deeper. It's definitely a no-fall zone. I think one of the greatest things about spring skiing is becoming a part of that new life cycle, that rejuvenating season of spring with the waterfalls, all the streams and rivers, all the flowers, all the new plant growth.
Spring skiing is great just because it's good weather, stable snowpack, be able to get on the technical steeper lines and not have to worry about avalanches as long as you get on them early enough in the day, hit that corn snow just right.
It's just a giant amphitheater of rock with these two slim lines of snow coming down the middle of it. Definitely world-class couloir skiing. It was a 7-mile approach to get to the base of the Y couloir. It was a big commitment to head out that way. We're groveling dry trail for about 4 miles and skiing through super rotten snow. Scrambling, little class 5 down climbing, dodging waterfalls, unstable snow bridges across rivers. But I really love those epic spring skiing approaches. Makes it quite rewarding.
And after you ski it, you gotta hike back that whole distance.
Backcountry skiing is really unique because here we are taken away from our cars and our computers, our cell phones, and we're kind of at the mercy of our environment.
And I look at backcountry skiing as one means of cultivating and maintaining that essential connection, that relationship with our places.
Well, I think people that aren't a part of the natural environment, they don't see the changes and the repercussions that their actions have. When they're just busily living their daily lives out in the city, they have no clue what's going on in the rest of the world, and they don't realize how fragile and interconnected everything is in Mother Nature.
What are your highest intentions? You know times of strife, always testing. Don't regress, let the restlessness, man.
Vacation, send it on, do it that way, or be blown away.
You guys were thinking this was a fantasy plan today, but turned out to be the reality plan. This time you just face reality.
Oh, dude, melodic Scandinavian death metal. most classic Schralptown music ever.
That was pretty classic footage. Ski's ripping off his back. Just didn't take it time. It's nice of them to drop them off for you, huh?
Automatic ski detach.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I don't feel right today. Something we did last night.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know what it was. My feelings are hurt in my lungs.